Hello, good morning. This is Donna Dewberry for another Relax and Paint. I love doing these flowers and I think they're easy. You can take a deep breath, relax, and have fun while you're doing it. It's kind of like a little mini landscape. We're using Folk Art multi-surface paint. It's got a satin finish. It has a sealer inside so you can work on all kinds of surfaces. All right, and then floating medium. So I want a little bit of a watercolor fill in some of it, and then some of this we're putting strong flowers. So let's go for it, okay? All right, so this is a piece of watercolor paper. It's 160 pound, and I am going to use some of my one-stroke brushes. Please subscribe if you haven't, and let's get started and make something really pretty today. All right, I'm using floating medium, and I can use some water I don't usually use water, but I'm using this fan brush, okay? So what I want to show you is that I can go back and forth and get a fun finish on here, all right? So I'm going to even spray some water because it is watercolor paper, so I can get this moving around here. Okay, back and forth. Get some bright blues. Okay, coming down. I just want some vivid colors behind these white wildflowers I'm going to be doing. It's kind of like Queen Anne's lace. And see, I've got water here that's going to help me move because it's watercolor paper. I can use this floating medium to move it a little bit. But you can use a sponge brush. A lot of things you can use. All right, now I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. Okay, so medium, white, and floating medium. There we go. Back and forth, back and forth. All right. All the way down. I want to do these edges, but if you frame this, these edges are fine. I'm going to get water though, because I want it to soak in. Water, soak it in there. There you go. And I got lots of water in the middle. All right, some more white and light blue to get the light blue. There we go. All right, it looks pretty streaky, but when you get everything on it, you'll see that it looks great. More white down here. Okay. Okay. I am going to take my sponge and just wipe up this excess here so it doesn't wreck my paper. Now, a lot of times when you're using watercolor paper and you're worried about it wrinkling up, you could tape it down with masking tape and then you have a nice clean border instead of doing what I just did. I just realized that. All right, so I want you to see that it's got some nice blues back there for what we're going to be doing. All right, so let's get a 12 flat, and I've got some colors out here already. So let's pick up some background colors we want to do. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of this pearl metallic lavender, and I'm just going to take that, and it's going to have a little bit of a shine to it. Let's take a big scruffy and let's work with it with that. Okay. All right. So these are going to be some background. See how it's got a pearl color to it. Actually, look at that. Shines pretty strong in the camera. All right. These are just background colors. Okay. And then just little peeps of it shows through as we're doing this. So see, it's lavender. All right. And then let's get some citrus color. Citrus and a little bit of sap. The sap's going to be more at the bottom. And I'm going to pounce it till it kind of goes away some. This is a scruffy brush. You use it dry. You load it dry, but you can clean it after in water, but not while you're working with it. Okay, so lots of paint. I'm trying to keep the dark at the bottom. And it gives you more depth that way, guys. So you want to over pounce it, work it in, and then lightly pounce up here. Okay. So different heights. A little bit higher over here. All right. So that's your background. All right. There again. I'm going to wipe this up a little bit. Okay. This is my silicone mat that we have on my site. They're wonderful. All right. So let's get, now I'm going to go to my value pack number 12 flat Donna Dewberry brushes. Okay. Donna Dewberry one stroke brushes. All right. So I'm going to come up here and decide where I want the height of the first one. All right. And you do lose some of it down here. I need to put some floating medium. I put some over here so we can still use some of that. And so I'm going to come down in here with all kinds of stems. All right. I'm going to put a nice big one right there. But you need to see it. There we go. And then one over here. So this is going to be across here, across there. Let's put one right here. I'd like you to kind of see what I'm thinking as I'm laying this out. I go back and forth, bringing some little bits of blades of grass, or these could be that, or these could be stems or other flowers. Do you see that? All right, go back in the dark green because you have to have the darker green to show in here. All right, that's the sap. All right, let's put some in here. Any strokes that you're not feeling comfortable with here, please go to practice strokes and watch them there. It's the most watched of all of my one stroke. And it's because people practice it over and over and over because they're short tutorials and you can go find your subject. And I did this for so many who say, ma'am, teach me how to do this. I love it. All right. So now I'm going to go to my script liner, my 2 script liner, and I'm going to come up here. This is easier to turn this upside down. Ooh, this is pretty wet. All right. So what I want to do, this is one of the top ones. So we're coming here and it's like an upside down umbrella. And this is the most important thing that people don't get is this all starts at this one spot here. It doesn't go all the way up a stem. Okay. So that's really important. All right, so it's kind of inky, so I can get this in here. This one I need to come down a little bit more because it's going to be too close. So I started down here. But right here is your spot. Remember, right here's the spot. And I'm going to disguise that one in the middle and make it be part of this. So don't go along the stems, go in one spot. And see how I'm doing this upside down? It makes it easier to get that shape. So did you see what I did here? These are just little bits of greenery that hang under the flower. Can you see? That kind of fun? All right. So I'm going to come up here. This one, here's your dark green spot. All right. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to curve, curve. This is going to be the biggest one. All right. So come up here. See how I'm going a little bit into the citrus? So then I could add some citrus in here because you're going to see a little bit of both. I'll add a little citrus in here. Ooh, what about a lot of citrus? Well, if you do that, you just have to come back and add some dark back in over it. There we go. All right, so I want to come down here. Okay. I have a little one here. And look, I can come down and have it come up. So you can see the back of it a little bit. Okay, see this? I can come here and come up. There, there, here. So it makes it look like you can see more of the base. Well, this is going to look pretty because that metallic pearl is going to show through it. A little bit of citrus in here. Okay, let me see. All right, so I'm going to put a couple down in here. All right, so one up here. I got to get more water because that green is very thick, that sap. All right, and this one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do with that is I'm going to put a little bit of that citrus in there I told you about. A little bit of citrus here. And I'm going to put a little bit of white. A little bit of water. Let's get some white over here. All right, so let's put some white in here. All right, so a little bit of that in here. All right, so then let's come here and put the dark in here and here. Dark, pull it. All right, so there we go. Now, a couple of things I want to put in here is if I have a small scruffy brush, where did I put that brush? Let's put it back. All right, so I have a small scruffy brush and I'm going to put some little bits of white with purple, violet pansy. Let's do white and violet pansy. Okay, so I'm going to put some of these in here where the white's up. Let me do some more. All right, violet pansy and white. Come on. Okay. A little bit of white, more violet pansy. Okay. All right, we can come back and add some more detail on those later. All right. So it looks like a little bit of a field of really pretty flowers, right? So I'm going to take another scruffy. Let's use a medium scruffy. And let's put a little bit of citrus. I'm tapping this dry brush with some citrus in here. And that's just going to give you some underneath to the white. So it looks a little bit more realistic. Okay, and then the white's going to go over that. A little bit more in here, which it probably didn't need it down there. But there you go. All right, so now I have a bunch of these brushes, so you can't just pick it up and use it. It's got to be dry. So I just want you to know. Trying to find another 1/2 inch. There we go. So the 1/2 inch, you can buy that separate, or it comes in a 13-piece brush. Okay, that's that. All right. Now we are going to pick up this whole brush white. Okay, now I can pound a little bit of it off, and then I'm going to come here and ever so lightly, come in here and get this nice shape. See how it goes down? All right. Now some of these, all right, look like they're just on the top. And they go straight, more straight. See, I curve this one a little bit more, but this one looks a little straighter. And some of this, like this one right here, I can come down on it more so it would look like it's covering it more. And come in with bright white. Okay, so see, it's heavy but light. Does that make sense? See, I want to see through it, but I want plenty of paint. And this is tricky for some people to get that movement, to get that where they like it. But I also want to tell you that you can use this little rubber band Q-tip deal and spread these out a little bit. I need more white. Put plenty of white. You're going to have 2 different looks. So I'm going to spread it out over these 3. Okay, so you tap it. Oops, it went everywhere. Okay, so I can hold it more squished. These are Q-tips and a hair piece. All right. You see the citrus brings some of it out, gives you some nice look. And so it looks like it goes with this more. You can put a few of them in here. All right, and then up here. So we have these 3 one way. And then it's okay to leave this other look here. Okay, we can also come down here and add some looks down here with the Q-tips. Citrus and some white. I did some little dreamy paintings where they have bubbles. And so this kind of reminds me of that. It has some little fun effects. I can also come in here. I was using purple earlier. I can come in here with a couple of these light colors and then just add some of those coming up on the stem. So here's some lavender up here. And you can do one in here where we put a little bit darker purple down here. And then maybe another one. Isn't that kind of fun? All right, so I'm going to get some white up here at the top. A little bit of white. Oops. What about a lot of white? Okay. Now, on top of this, I can just leave these little pom-poms. I don't have to do much. But on top of this, we can put a couple of little dragonflies or butterflies. So I can take floating medium and I'm going to put a little bit wider, floating medium. And we're going to put 2 wings. And then we put 2 short wings down here, bigger wings up there. And I can put a little bit of pearl in them. I hope you like this. I hope it inspires you. Please think about becoming a member on our One Stroke Advantage. When you become a member, it helps me to do lots more painting on here for free and to give you more full-length lessons for very discounted prices, and it starts at $9.95. So we get 4 lessons and 20% off any of my website items. Okay, so there we go. I'd like to probably put one up there, but that's what we're doing for today. Isn't that kind of fun? So just a little different than my normal. So I hope that you try it and come to our Facebook, One Stroke, Donna Dewberry's official One Stroke Facebook group, and share. Love to see what you do. Okay. All right. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.